The idea is that this will be a end-to-end one-shot, start to finish. The party is level 8. They have just completed their previous adventure and now are coming into this new region where they will then get the opportunity to go on another adventure. So yay, adventuring. And with that, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. How are we doing?
Doing well.
Doing good.
Great. Steve, let me know when you want to start the giveaway too. I'm ready to go.
Okay.
That's the empty space that's required to DM, isn't it?
Funny. Alrighty.
Famous last word.
Exactly.
Alrighty. So, yeah, it should be trying to drop that echo down. Should be working, but all right. Okay, so hopefully that will negate some of the echo. All right, if we hear it again, we'll address it. All right, so kicking us off, like I said, we have our cast here, so we'll take a moment to go around and have everybody introduce their characters and whatnot. So we'll start with Brandon. You're first. Tell us about your character and whatnot.
So my character is a Bugbear Rogue 3 Fighter 5. He's specialized in swashbuckler and arcane archery. And his name is Day. He was raised by some elves in a convent to prove that even creatures considered to be evil can in fact be good. And he proved them right, and the elf that had done the raising was pretty much finished with him having settled a bet. And so he's been adventuring ever since.
Ready? Adam, tell us about Barum.
Yes, I'm Barum Tall Bellows, dwarf cleric, and I've been pretty young. He's got a medium-sized beard, so you could tell he's probably 12 or 13 for a dwarf. So yeah, he just loves adventure, and he is just always trying to help, but he's probably a little overcautious at times. So that might be something that happens.
Chad, tell us about your character.
Hi. So I'm playing Obsidian, who is a Tabaxi Rogue 5 Druid 3. He has some support spells, which is kind of how I built him to help with certain situations, because we for a while didn't have a cleric in our party. Thank you, Adam, for going cleric. So now we have extra healing. And he is excited to be adventuring with all of his friends again.
Alrighty, and John, tell us about Anarion.
I'm playing Anarion Rivion, and he is a Vengeance Paladin, Paladin 6, and because he is a Vengeance Paladin, feels that evil needs to be destroyed by any means necessary. He also took a couple of rogue levels so that he can get a little understanding of the evil side of life, so to speak. And so again, out and about adventuring and trying to smite evil wherever he finds it.
Awesome. Alrighty. So as we're looking at this, we are starting in a region called the we're going to start our first giveaway, which will be a subscription to Syrinscape. So if we can go ahead and toss the command in the chat, I believe it to where you can enter, and then when we take our first break, we will announce the winner of that. So now that that's done, We have here is we're starting in a region called the Aryan Mountains. This region is in a kind of an Arctic zone. It's extremely cold, being as is the Arctic. This mountain range splits the distance between two large cities. We have on either side of the mountain range. Our party, who has completed their recent adventure, has started to travel into this region and comes across a merchant on the side of the road as they approach one of the cities. We will start. See this merchant? He's kind of bundled up in his furs with his cart. Summer has just ended, so we're getting into the long night of winter. The average temperature has definitely gotten colder as opposed to it was a few weeks ago. And you see he's kind of walking along the road in kind of an opposing direction as you guys.
I think Shad's muted.
Sorry, which city are we walking towards? The one on the right or the one on the left?
Let's go with the one on the left. You're walking along the road to the sea, and you see the merchant on the side of the road.
Okay.
Whoa.
Hello, friend.
Yeah. Hello, sir.
So, and where are you? Are you guys just coming to town?
Yeah. Just
Yes.
needed some rest.
Oh, it's kind of a interesting time to travel with the summer just ending. Would you by chance be here to assist in the issue with in Twilight Gap?
Issue
we
in
heard?
Twilight Gap.
Yeah. Has anybody heard about this?
Apparently, a few weeks ago, something has been happening in the Gap. We used to be a lot of trade that would travel from one side of the mountain range to the other would be progressing. Well, recently it's all stopped. Apparently, there's something that's happened somewhere in the Gap. But if you want, I could take you to the local Merchants Guild, and the guildmaster there could tell you more about what's happening.
Guys, what do you think?
I believe this may be a good idea. We have had some downtime and we could use more coin should there be the opportunity.
It's true, but I don't know. Do you think we can trust this guy?
It's hard to say, but I have a good feeling about it.
What do you think, Anarian?
I think we could certainly use the coin.
All right. Let's go. We will be cautious.
Ready?
All right.
So
All right. Let's go. Let's go.
they lead you into the town. And it's a fairly modest city in this region. Tim brings you over to a 3-story structure that is the the Merchants Guild. And as you enter, you're ushered up, and the guildmaster greets you and invites you into his office. His office is fairly well decorated with some plush chairs, and he takes a seat behind the desk and says, "Welcome to our city, brave. Welcome. My name is Stephen Rummergen. I'm the Merchants Guildmaster. I wish this were a better time for us to meet, but times of late have been a bit odd. I was told you might be interested in helping with a problem we have. But before I ask if you're willing to take this on, let me give you a little background. As you approach the city, you notice the Aryan Mountains, which are, as you can tell, rugged and treacherous, even with our particular climate. They pose major obstacles for trade. Well, the merchants guilds here and the merchants guilds on the other side of the range have collaborated together to build a path and a halfway house in the gap. Lately, though, there's been some unrest. The efforts have started to see creatures of some unknown origin start to propagate inside the pass. The master of the mansion, Sir Xanargol, has requested help from either city, but none of us really have the time or the resources to share due to local political problems. But we can send him some adventurers your way. If you are interested to take the job is basically we need you to go find out what's going on at Twilight Gap, and then take care of it by any means you see fit. What do you say?
Hold on. Something about creatures, unknown creatures. Are these dangerous creatures?
They're not native to this land. We normally see various wild beasts that are more associated with a cold climate. But these beasts, from some reports, are dark and unnatural.
Dark and unnatural.
What was the guy's name?
The guildmaster's name is Stephen Ramergan.
The guy that runs the halfway house. Sorry.
Oh no, the guy who runs the halfway house is Sir Xanargol.
Xanargol, thank you. Sorry, go ahead.
What is the description of these dark and strange creatures?
Some appear to be undead. Some appear to be beasts that when you look at it, it looks like they're not actually in that position, in that spot. They could be somewhere else. It's very spotty at best. Most travel has actually stopped through the gap in fear of the fact that it's no longer safe. And Sir Xanargol's charge is to make sure that this pass is safe for merchants to travel. Frankly, from what he has told us, his men are ill-equipped to deal with these threats.
Did these sound familiar to any of us? Types of creatures? Does it ring any bells?
Roll a nature check.
It's actually not 20.
Nice.
Great way to start.
Good start. Yeah.
Great way to start.
20 is working well. Of course, this could just be a sign of things not to come. So,
Wait,
wasting
didn't we
it
get
early.
extra stuff for nat 20s too? Right? Come on. Sorry.
I won't mention the fact that the HP bar at the start was 1,000. It's now at 1,600 for the HP to knock down. So things are going to be interesting at the start. It's only fair. But no, given your knowledge of the region, some of the beasts he's describing would be beasts more akin to Underdark or some other plane. You don't normally see them in this region.
Okay.
But you are getting some recollection from studies. It sounds like he might be talking about something you've heard of that might be called a displacer beast of some type. Other things, undead is kind of is somewhat common depending on the circumstances, but not normally what you've heard of in these high mountain regions.
It sounds like you have either dug too deep or reached too far. Something has come to greet you here. And you're right, it is not so natural. Sounds to me like undead or perhaps displacer beasts. Something of the like.
I'm not familiar with I've heard of undead in other areas. Displacer beasts, I've never heard of those before. But given what the reports that have come out of the past, I would trust your judgment in how to deal with these things.
Dead. And did you say undead?
I did.
Possibly.
I would not be surprised.
Gave me the willies for a second. Okay, sorry. Keep going.
No, go on, my friend.
Now,
I think this sounds like fun.
if you'd be willing to take this on, I'd be willing. The guilds have collected I'd be willing to pay you 3,000 each, 3,000 gold each, if for taking on this venture, and potentially more depending on how it's resolved.
Really?
Where the trade route must be opened, and this is a vital trade route between us and our sister city. With this pass, it's only a 2-day travel to the other side. If we had to find another means, it could add weeks, if not months, to try and forge a new path over the mountains.
Friend, would you mind giving us a moment to speak these things over?
Please, please. He steps out of the room and allows you guys a chance to talk in private.
I am concerned. This is much more money than I believe any of us have ever received for a single job, and I would assume that danger may be equal.
I'm sure the danger would be commensurate to the reward, but I'm eager to smite undead and those types of creatures that have crossed into this realm.
Yes, and we are based out of this area. We can't have them coming in and hurting our families and our friends. I think we have to do something.
I think it would be the right thing to do to smite these undead, but carefully.
Carefully. Most definitely carefully.
Then I agree, yes. Let us take action, so to speak. So, well, I guess summon him to come back.
All right. The guildmaster comes back in. So, what have you decided?
We would like to help you with this.
Is there anything if you'd like? We can put you up here in the guild hall for the night. That way you have a first start in the morning. Is there anything else you may require?
Speaking for myself, perhaps a warm meal. It is cold, but for my friends, I will allow them to speak for themselves.
Of course.
That is all I would require as well. Just a warm meal.
Okay. Likewise.
He moves over to his desk, pulls out a piece of parchment, and hands you a letter. It says, "Please accept our hospitality, and if you do need to purchase anything, just show this letter of marque, and anything you purchase will be half price here within the city as you prepare for your trip into the pass." And with that, he summons someone to show you to your rooms where you can go and show you where you can get a hot meal, and any other the rest of the day and the evening is yours for any type of preparation you wish to take.
Okay. This place is large enough to have, I suppose, things of magical items and things like that.
Yes, you would find most of the common magical items, as well as pretty much any other basic supplies you would need for this region.
Okay. So I guess I'll turn to you guys.
I have about 250 gold on my person. Can you think of anything that we might need when approaching the beasts that we may be encountering?
And the math there would make it, what, 500? 500? If we get the discount.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, the question is, what can we seek, and how can we haggle to be able to make this work out in our favor, even beyond the 50% if need be?
Yeah. Do we require anything? I don't.
From our last adventures, I think that at least for myself, I'm fairly well stocked.
But I will. Let's go. Let's go to the shops. Let's find out what they've got.
It's hard to take a peek.
Certainly doesn't hurt.
Certainly not. Let us go then. Perhaps a magic shop first.
Sounds like a good plan to me.
Yes.
As you navigate through the city, and as you exit the guild hall and ask about a magic shop, you're pointed over to a particular shop. You step in, and there's a shopkeep there. This looks to be like a lizard folk, which is rare, which is kind of rare to see this far north. But his particular scales have a slight blue tint to them, so it might be that his tribe is pretty used to this environment. He sees you, comes in and goes, "Yes, what can I do for you?"
Could you give us a quick rundown of any magical items you may have that would help us against undead or displacer beasts?
Takes a moment and thinks. Not seen those creatures here. Undead, yes, but those can be dealt with by any cleric or silver or some type of radiant producing device. But the displacer beasts, I do not believe I have anything that could help there.
I see. Would you have anything that has radiant abilities, something that could help us to turn the tide in our favor should we need it?
I mean, I got a few tricks at my sleeve, but anything you got also would help.
For those of us that don't have tricks.
He goes and he looks through, and it's like, I have a scroll that would allow you to cast bright light, daylight, that could help and impact that type of creature. It would be about 300 gold for such an item.
I see. We have been given this paper, and I show him the slip.
You're venturing the guildmaster. Yes, well, that would definitely bring it down to 150 gold if you wish to take the scroll to use it, just in case.
Now you say it produces daylight.
Yes, daylight and radiant and sun, and so I believe the magic users call it a guiding bolt. It allows the bright light that strikes the creature. It's very useful for undead. They're very rare, but they do come across because of the cold.
I see.
Yep, I'm familiar.
No, addressing my friends, I know the little of magic. Is this guiding bolt something that we want?
Probably a cleric would be more attuned with that type of information than I.
Aye, it's very good against the undead. I can do it without the scroll, but any of you would be good for it.
I suppose. I'm wondering if perhaps we may be best to save what money we have.
Mute it again, Shad.
What would we be saving it for?
Well, there's a halfway house, and there's something on the other end. Perhaps we may meet someone in the middle.
That's true.
Money may come in handy.
That's true. As long as we make it to the other side.
That is the hope.
Just to point out, also looking around the shop, you do see that there's the common theme for the items here is climbing and mountaineering, and stuff for scaling, stuff for being out in the wilderness and having to scale the mountains. As you saw, the mountains do appear to be quite steep and treacherous.
Okay, and this is standard mountain climbing gear, not necessarily specifically magical mountain climbing gear.
Some of them might be like your desire to look for an immovable rod if you haven't picked it up yet.
I did pick one up.
Okay, I wasn't clear if you had picked one up, so I was trying to make sure I set that up for pickup.
Yes.
If you picked it up, then maybe it's broken.
It's weird. I put it in my bag and then I couldn't walk anywhere. Awful. Okay.
That's funny.
No, I think I might have some climbing gear. Is everybody okay for climbing gear?
I think so.
I've got my spider climb slippers, but that doesn't work on anything slippery, so that's potentially problematic.
I have I got a rope of climbing as part of my gear.
I also have a broom of flying, so that we can use that to traverse big areas.
Okay.
I just got this regular rope. It's nothing too special, but do you think it'll be good enough?
I only have 50 feet worth of rope and some pythons. Those will help us
Same.
climb, but perhaps extra rope and extra pythons will be in order.
That could be useful for sure.
That could very well be useful.
Do you have any pythons?
Yes. How many would you need?
Oh, climbing is not. I have not had to do it with rope and pythons before, at least not in a long time. How many would you recommend for climbing a mountain? Should we need to?
I would say just a standard fare, probably some in the neighborhood of 15 to 20 per bundle. These there are many who do try to climb these cliffs in the summer, but if you need to in the winter, and I would never trust any pitons you find in the cliff face.
Yes. Then perhaps 20 for each of us, and 2 additional ropes for each of us should we need it. If no one has argument, and I will pay.
You're going to pay?
Sure.
Well, that's generous of you. Wow.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Hey,
He
thanks.
gathers the supplies and says to be 3 gold for the whole pile.
Wonderful, and thank you, my friend.
Happy to help.
So was that
right.
20 plus 1 more rope?
Yeah, so 20 more pythons.
20 pythons.
Pitons or
Pitons.
Pitons or pitons, croutons, and then
Yeah.
2 more hempen rope. So we've each got 150 feet of hempen rope and 30 pitons, pythons, things, stems, the wall stabbies. So yeah, so I'm just gonna add those as well.
Done.
Wunderbar. Okay, so
Is there anything else that any of you would like to see while we are here?
I think I'm good.
Perhaps we should return to the guild for the night.
I agree.
I'm just curious, shopkeep,
Yes.
what's the most expensive thing you have?
He takes he sits there and thinks for a moment. It's like, I'm not. I have a few immovable rods and some enchanted cloaks and boots to help against the cold. Those would probably be the most expensive things I have at the moment.
Boots to help against the cold.
Yes. They protect against extreme cold, which, as you can imagine, is a distinct possibility here. But they are quite expensive. Even
Are these boots of the Winterlands?
I believe that's a description of them. Yes. I see you have a pair yourself there.
I do.
So they look like his.
Yes.
How much should that run someone?
With your letter of marque there, I would say you could probably get a pair for 200 gold.
Oh, that is really good.
That's a good price for me. I don't know about you lads, but I think I might have to get me a pair. Is that all right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, of course.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Have you the coin, or do you need help?
No, I can do it. I got some extra here from before, and I do have enough to afford it. So
Awesome.
Now, should we need more than one immovable rod, or is that something that we have one? I have one in my person now, but it's more than one a good idea.
It's potential if you using that to scale the mountains with an immovable. Since you have one, you know that once you activate it, it does not go. So it's a good for staying in one spot or using it for a handhold that is particularly tricky if you cannot get a piton in.
Make a good anchor point.
Certainly. And how much is that going for?
The immovable rods. What was the price I quoted y'all? Because I can't remember it off the top of my head right now.
500.
500.
500. So normally 500. With the letter of marque, it'd be about 250 for one of the rods.
Yes, then I will take one. Who would like to carry this one?
I can carry it.
Yes, here you are, friend.
Very good. Thank you.
these boots fit perfect. Wow. It's like you name a size.
And after you,
They do require attunement.
yeah, I was just about to say
so
that.
Is
So they may feel a little big, but you notice walking about the rest of the day and come morning that they fit perfectly, like tailored for your exact size and toe length and everything.
Mm.
Oh, and they're so warm. Mm.
Gotta really tug
Like
on the
living
laces,
in
but
Florida.
it's good.
Sorry.
Right.
Excellent.
Yes. Shall we return to the guild for a drink and some good company?
I think that would
Absolutely.
be wise. I'm feeling a bit hungry.
I'm
Yeah.
starving. Didn't eat since whenever the last meal was.
Yeah, those trail rations just didn't quite do it for me.
They
Now,
never do.
to the cup.
Yes. All right. So, so we go to the cup.
All right, so you go into the tavern. It's kind of late evening or evening at this point, so people are gathering for their meal. You come in. It's a roaring fire in the fireplace. And people are gathering around, grabbing drinks. Barmaids are walking around with their meals. So, you manage to find a kind of a table that's not too far from the fire to warm up. Get your meal. Is there anything
Dude.
else?
Yep. Drinks. What do you have?
We have warm ciders and meads. What can I get you, lads?
Is there any rum?
Oh, there's always rum.
What do you have that drinks like a meal?
Drinks like a meal. Oh, we have some dwarven ale that just came in recently. I believe it's a brand from from Mithra Hall called Gutbuster.
Ah, that sounds like it'll do the trick.
That'll be fine.
All right. Grab your seat, gentlemen. I'll have one of the ladies bring you your drinks.
Aye.
So, have a drink. A barmaid comes over. She big, hefty flagons of kind of the rum and the gut buster. It's got that nice thick frothy foam to it.
All right. Yes. All right. So we all have our drinks.
Yep. You all have your drinks. Food is on its way. You smell the meats and whatever. Is there anything you wish to learn or do, or just enjoy the evening?
What is normally traded?
To success.
To success. Oh yeah. And I'd like to turn to the server and ask, what is normally traded in these parts? What do you guys normally run through the pass?
It's on the other side of the pass. It's not too far. There's a port town, so ships coming in will bring supplies that will then come through the various guilds, and then off to the west toward the Silver Marches. But that's a couple-month journey to get there, if not all the way to the Sword Coast.
Yes.
But most every manner of trade good will pass through, and both ways. So we get every so often we get shipments from Mithril Hall and the Silver Marches. We get shipments from across from up north. The desert folk lie between here and the Sword Coast, so they typically will have some trade goods that come from their region. Exotics of that nature.
Is there much talk of the disturbances in the pass?
There's a few whispered comments, but right now most everyone is just trying to adjust to the fact that summer has ended. It's been a few weeks, so it's still fairly. It's the amount of people who know about it is small, but the fact that there are a few comments here and there about wanting to getting the merchants to go through the pass, and you hear that most casual merchants don't brave the pass anymore. They only the most foolhardy will try and get across. But just as much, also, as the worst kept secret in town is that this guild hall, that they know that you guys have come to investigate. So spirits are a little livelier because of that as well.
Are there any survivors that have gotten through the pass and survived and gotten here that we can talk to?
Give me a perception check.
Yeah, okay. Let's see if the 1020 can do it again. Nope. That's an 8.
Ooh.
You heard you hear some talk of a recent merchant group that had tried to go through the pass about a week ago, and no word has been heard from them. It's presumed they're lost somewhere in the pass. It could have been because of that. It also could have been a recent snowstorm early in the season that came.
Is there snow on the ground now?
Yes, there's a light there is a kind of a light smattering. In the city, it's a little harder to tell because there's still a lot of traffic because these people are used to this climate. But you do notice that there's some fresh snow. It's not heavy winter. It's still early winter. So it's not as bad as it would be soon.
All right, so I would like to use my Druidcraft to determine what the weather's going to be for the next 24 hours.
Alrighty. There's going to be... Had to get me on that one, didn't you, Shad?
Of course I did.
Well, you know I'm not going to be that easy.
That's what I do best. Come on.
Oh, right. I remember that.
Yeah. Yes. I know. I see what that bar is up to now.
Here's my difference. It's going to be temperature is going to be normal for the season, probably in the mid-teens Celsius for point of reference. There's not going to be much.
Mid-teens positive or
Negative.
mid-teens negative?
Negative.
Okay.
Mid-teens negative Celsius. It's going to be probably going to be a light wind, and of course the important one is there's no projection of snow for the next 24 hours.
Okay. And so I'll relay this information. So it does look like everything's going to be good. We have light winds and no snow projected, and the temperatures are normal for this time, mid-teens, negative.
Doesn't sound too bad, does it?
No, couldn't ask for better weather, especially with our new boots.
Hey, I wonder if I should even put them on. I'll put them on. I'll put them on just in case.
Put them on.
I can't help but feel a foreboding feeling, but that precedes all of these adventures of ours.
We do end up in some rough spots, don't we? But we always get out of them.
We do. Yes, we
Find
do.
a way.
We do get a
Except
bit.
for that one guy we lost a while back. What was his name?
You don't have to worry about him anymore. We tried. We tried.
We
What more
tried.
can we say?
Such
The
is life.
effort was made.
Do we see anybody else in here that's paying us extra attention? That's
Go ahead and roll a perception.
here's hoping I have your. Oh, I have a +8, so I'm at least as good as you. 14 + 8, 22.
As you're sitting there and looking about, you do see a woman off in the corner. She has a deep green cloak that she has bundled up. You catch the eyes, and they're an emerald sparkle, and she seems a little more curious in you than everyone else in the than everyone else. And with almost like she's measuring you up, and kind of has a slight smile to herself that at what she's seeing.
Nice. And I do this in a low voice, guys. Has anybody seen the woman over there in the deep green emerald cloak that's staring at us?
Pictures looking at you in particular.
I'll look over in that direction. Do I recognize who this is?
No, but she is striking.
Who is she striking?
No,
There's a halfling under the table.
No, she looks very striking. Like it's like once you go and you turn and you look, you can immediately pick her out. As you know, that person who, when they walk into a room, no matter, it's like once you catch a glimpse, all of a sudden your attention's on them. She's that kind of visually striking as she's sitting there watching you.
And
Can
she's human or elvish or?
Yeah, can I tell if I recognize the kind of person she is? Like that?
She appears half elf. But it's kind of it's definitely somewhere between human and elf in her appearance.
All right, so I look over and I see that she's looking directly at us, right?
Yes, she's been watching you since you've been watching you for a while.
And I turn back and I say, she's not hairy enough for me.
Not me.
With her calculating looks toward the group, is it assessment as in like confrontational, or
Go ahead and roll an
determine
insight.
that?
Go and do an insight check for me.
That will be a 12.
You can't tell. It doesn't. You're not sure what. You're not. It doesn't strike you as openly hostile. But then again, but also you just can't tell what her intent is. But she does have her attention. She does have her attention on the four of you at your table.
Can't tell if it's a hostile assessment or not.
There's only one way to find out.
I was just going to say the same thing.
Perhaps one or two of us or all of us should go and say hello.
You can go. I have to finish my meal.
I'll go with you.
Right. Let us go, Obsidian.
So we'll walk over.
Right. She's sitting at a moderate table. There's room for you guys to have a seat. As she sees you approach, she offers the chair for you to sit at. She looks at you and says, "Oh, see, we have some new visitors here."
Yes, and this place is strangely accepting of my kind. You don't seem surprised at all having me walk up to you. Most people shrink a bit in their position. Tell me about yourself.
Oh, the lady has to keep her secrets, but no, you're not entirely out of place. I've seen many things, many places. I tend to wander and travel. I go where there might be some interesting events, so to speak.
I see that your eyes have found us.
Yes, I keep my ear to the ground. I heard there was some trouble nearby, and you seem to be a lot that tends to investigate such troubles. And I'm always on the lookout for interesting parties to keep an eye on. Offer patronage, as it were.
Patronage.
Would you... I imagine you're probably not very trusting, but let me offer you this as a sign of good faith. She reaches in and pulls out a satchel and places it on the table. You hear the distinct clinking of glass vials or bottles. I have a good feeling about you. You may need these. And inside is a set of 4 greater healing potions.
Can I roll to see how trustworthy she might be?
Sure.
So just insight.
Yes.
So 13.
13. Far as you could tell, she's being truthful. In fact, she wants to give you a gift, and everything she said so far.
My friend Obsidian, how do you feel about accepting potions from strangers?
Well, how do we know they're actually containing greater healing potions?
As far as I can tell, they're the right color, but I don't know a lot about these things.
What did she say? What did she say?
So, you're calling from the table. I imagine we're.
I know.
Yeah. I imagine we're still there with her because we haven't taken the bag or anything.
No, you haven't told me you've taken the bag.
And we're kind of just saying these things openly right in front of her face. So,
how far away apart are the tables?
It's probably about 15 feet from your table, which was to where hers is.
Okay.
So loud, I can't hear it. I'm trying to hear. I can't hear. Listen. What did she say? What is she trying to give you?
So I
come over here and find out.
So I'll kind of squint in her direction and I'll say,
What to be says that trust you, however, in my travels I have found that there's very few and far between when it comes to people who will give without expecting anything in return. What is it that you want from us?
Oh, right now, I want you to survive whatever you encounter in the pass.
How do you know we're going to the pass?
I've heard that there have been troubles in there of late. And any troubles there is bad for business. And I tend to want to keep business flowing.
What
So
kind of
you're-
business? Sorry.
No, that's fine. Your
Ah.
interests are primarily in business.
My business is my own, but any disruption in the daily lives of these two cities could be problematic for the larger region. So having this taken care of is always a good thing. And scouting fresh talent for possible jobs later is a hobby of mine.
Okay, so I'll give Obsidian kind of a look like something that speaks along the lines of, well, sounds like we may have another job when this one's done.
Huh? I kind of look and nod. We've been traveling enough. We know each other.
Yeah. And in your look, do you think we're on the same page about whether or not we're going to accept these? Yeah. All right. Okay. Then we accept gratefully and look forward to seeing you again once we return. Hopefully, all in one piece.
I hope that as well.
You gotta speak up. You gotta give me more.
We got to get him a hearing aid or something.
Indeed.
What did he say?
So I guess we accept the potions.
Yes.
And very politely give our leave and return to the table to Speedy.
Yep. And also, as you turn, she kind of hums. As you turn your backs to her, she kind of hums a little tune that even across the way, Barium and Anarian can hear. And when you hear the tune and turn around, she's gone.
Odd.
Where did she go?
Very strange.
Very creepy.
You know, I
That's just
trusted
what we need.
her up until that moment.
But
I
you
know.
also,
Now I'm looking at the potion.
the potion looks right for greater healing, and all of you kind of feel a little lighthearted in your optimism for travel ahead, where you all have inspiration. D4 to any role you deem appropriate.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Excellent.
That was a jaunty little tune.
All right. I'm gonna D4 to the side.
Yep.
Inspiring. Okay.
I'll put down my fork and knife and walk over. Lads, I didn't get what? I didn't hear it. No, what you say?
Here's
She
your
gave it.
potion.
What is it?
It's a potion. You're a cleric. Can you tell what kind of potion it is?
Yeah, I can. You have one. You have. Let me see. Is this from the music woman?
Yes.
She gave
Ah,
us-
yeah. Yeah, I got one like this. Yeah.
She said they're greater healing. Does this look correct to you?
Aye, that's great. That's great, all right. Yeah.
Excellent.
I'll give it back to Obsidian.
No, it's yours.
But
That is yours.
There's
She
One-
she gave them to us. One for each of us.
one for each of us, huh?
one for each. Huh. Well,
And
okay.
what did she ask for in return?
Oh, she asked for something in return.
She did not ask for anything in return, but I imagine that the way she spoke, she has great interest in our return so that she can give us a job.
Ah.
She does
Future-
business through the pass, I believe.
Future endeavors could be beneficial to us.
They could.
She isn't thinking that we owe her one now, does she?
I don't know if we owe her one or if she's simply putting a down payment on our survival for a lucrative relationship later on.
Because I didn't agree to nothing. My mouth was full.
That's true.
Yes.
I suppose it is only Obsidian and I that are on the hook.
All right,
Give me my
just as long
potion
as we're
back.
clear. I pick.
Not the worst fate I've had players deal with.
All right, I'll put it away, but I didn't agree to nothing.
Yes, Bill.
Noted.
We know.
All right, just making sure. Okay.
Noted and witnessed.
All right.
All right, so-
Sweet day.
Yep. So as the evening wears on, you're able to partake and eat, enjoy, and get a full night's rest. And with that, we're going to take a quick little 5-minute break.